Good morning, children. Welcome to our class. So in our previous class, we discussed about the internal hardware of the computers. So in that internal hardware, we have discussed about the components which were there inside the motherboard. So let us quickly recollect what we have done. So we have learned about motherboard, CPU, RAM, ROM, disk drives, sound cards, video cards, and SMPS and ports. So we will be discussing further on this ports. So what is a port? Ports. You have seen a small connecting place at the back of the CPU where we put the mouse, we put the CPU, we put the speakers, jack and all, isn't it? The small opening at the back of the CPU which had a connection to the motherboard are called the ports. So ports are the points for connecting the computers of any external hardware devices to our personal computers. It helps in communicating the data transfer between the connected devices. Ports is actually an opening of the external hardware devices to connect with the motherboard of another system. So if you have to connect the mouse, if you have to connect the keyboard, if you have to connect the speaker, isn't it? We have a port. If you have to copy the data from the flash drive or the pen drive, there is also a port. So different types of ports are there. It helps in connecting the device to the motherboard of the computer. On the desktop computers, the ports are available on the back side of the CPU. So at the back side of the CPU, we should see all the openings, small openings. It is available on the left hand side of as per the design. So it is there in the left hand side. Now today we will discuss about the different types of ports. So you must have seen the different ports, but you might not know the function of each. So there are different types of port. Serial port. So as the name suggests, is a serial port. The first type of port is there. You can refer to page number 8, table number 1 in your textbook. Serial port is used to connect the other computers or external modem. So you can connect the external modem with the help of the serial port. Modem means, what do you mean by modem? Modem means modulator, demodulator, which converts the digital signal into the analog and analog signal to the digital signal. So this helps us to transfer data from one computer to another. So the port which are used is the serial port for the external modem. So next type of port is the parallel port. So parallel port used for printing and scanning the devices. So when you have to scan, when you have to use the scanners and all, generally printer and scanners are connected with the help of the parallel ports. The next type of port is the PS2. PS2 mouse port. So small round hole, blue hole, green hole, where we put that pin of that thing in that particular hole. That is the keyboard or mouse interface. So PS2 port is also there. Audio port, where you put audio, input audio, output audio jack inside the CPU, that is the audio port. You have a USB port. USB, I hope everybody knows, because all the devices nowadays comes as a USB device. We'll just plug and see. So USB ports are very common. Connects all types of USB devices. Now all the devices comes are USB type only. You can see the example. For example, printer, hard disk, scanner, mouse, keyboard can be connected to the USB device. So all the USB devices can be connected through the USB port. The next port is the Ethernet port. Ethernet port is a port where we can connect the computer to the network. So connects the network cable to the computers or to a high-speed internet connection. So if you have to make your computer standalone PC into a network PC, that time you have to use the Ethernet ports. Next one is a VGA port. Networking means it may be of internal network or it can be of external internet network. VGA port. So VGA stands for Visual Graphic Adapter. Connects the monitors to the video card for computers. Similarly, modem ports connects the modem to the telephone networks, and there are power connectors connects to the power plug of the computers, and digital video interface port connects the LCD monitors to the video graphic card. So these are some of the ports which are available in the computers, in the motherboard of the computers, which we find at the back of the CPU. Now this port is also a internal hardware device. Next one is the heatsink. Now heatsink means a lot of heat is generated from the CPU. When you run the computer, the heat will be generated. A lot of heats will be generated, and the heatsink absorbs the excess heat produced in the CPU. So the function of this heatsink is to access the heat produced in the CPU. It protects the CPU in the motherboard of the computer by providing the cooling effect. So the cooling effect is provided by the heatsink of the computer. Heatsink is located on the top of the motherboard of the CPU, and also with the fan it removes the extra power of the heat produced within the system. So extra power of heat which is generated is also removed with the help of this heatsink. The last device, the internal hardware of the computer, is a modems. So nowadays modems are integrated in the motherboard. So we can get the external modem also. Modem or the modulator demodulator is a hardware peripheral which enables the computer to establish a communications line to send or receive the data through the data cable. So we can send and receive the data through the data cable over a telephone network. So with the help of this one modem, we can transfer the data from telephone to computers. A simple word, modem connects the computer to the internet. So modem is a device which helps us to connect to the internet. So here are some of the internal hardware which was there in the computers, and we will be continuing our next class with the external hardware devices, different types of external hardware devices you have come across. So we will be going through the detail in the next class. So thank you.